Well, being out here at the Banff Center in the midst of all this wilderness is a far cry from some of the greatest stages of Europe. And yet, Cristina Gomez Godoy makes room for both in her busy career. The celebrated oboist is the principal oboe, in fact, with the Staatskapelle Berlin, as well as performing as a celebrated soloist with a wide variety of orchestras and some of the world's greatest conductors as well. Amidst her schedule, Cristina comes here to the Banff Center for the Arts and Creativity to tell us a bit more about her craft and about performing as a chamber musician. Thank you so much for taking the time to speak with us, Cristina.
Pleasure to be here.
So maybe you can talk to us a little bit about, as I said, this is quite a far cry being here at Banff from being in the heart of Berlin. What is it about this place for you that is so magical to help to maintain or to add to your artistry?
Well, you know, this place, it's not a secret that it has been very important and famous forever for any musician and any artist in the world, all over the world. It's very well known, you know. So I had heard of it many times through colleagues, through friends, and when I got the invitation for the first time last year, of course I was very excited about it, and as you say, it's difficult for my planning to make it work, but I did it, and I'm so extremely happy that I could, and I find it's a really magical and special place.
Yeah, absolutely. Comparing this work that you do here, which is a lot of performing of smaller ensemble works, oftentimes new chamber works as well. How does that compare in your creative life to the works that you share, both as principal oboist for the Staatskapelle Berlin, but also for the work that you do as a soloist with so many other orchestras?
Well, I think there are many special sides about this place, but one of them is this very open-minded approach to programming. And this is something that struck me, this is something that surprised me, and because I'm a very, let's say, I'm always very excited to play new music, to play music even from living composers. I have done that a bunch of times, but I saw that it's a real important point here. So I was surprised, and also I thought this would be something that would add for me a new inspiration also. So I think one of the very, very, very special points about this place is that, because it's music making at the highest level, but also you get this very varied programming and very varied atmosphere.
Yes, absolutely. What do you take away from these kinds of experiences and then bring into your day job, as it were, being the principal oboist? In other words, what does it mean to perform chamber works here, and what do you take away from that experience as you return to more traditional full orchestra repertoire?
Yeah, you know, in my orchestra, actually, we do take care of playing always new music, or let's say more contemporary. But in chamber music, it's something that I don't do so much. You know, in chamber music, for my instrument, for oboe, there is very, let's say, tight repertoire, or classical, you know.
Yeah.
So when I get to know new pieces here, the good thing is that I bring them with me, and I want to play them somewhere else, you know. So this adds to my repertoire a lot of sparkle. And also about this place, what can I say? I mean, it's this connection to nature is astonishing.
Yeah.
And yeah, this is something that I also bring with me when I go somewhere else, and how people experience doing music in this, like, with this background.
What is the experience like performing in these large ensembles to then have to travel around a lot? Because you do a lot of traveling for your work, and there's been a lot of talk here at the Banff Center about how performers can stay grounded amidst travel, which is something that you do quite a lot of. How do you approach the rigors of this type of a career and balance, being rooted in a place with the orchestra in Berlin, but also as a soloist and also as a guest here at the Banff Center?
So yeah, one of the most difficult things about that is to stay sane, and especially as an oboe player. I don't know if, probably people don't know so much about that, but we have to build our own mouthpieces, the reeds.
Which is what we're looking at behind us right now. Yes.
This is craziness, pure craziness. Especially here in Banff, like at the mountain, is so difficult to find something that works. But it changes always from place to place. So staying sane as an oboe player, doing like solo concerts and chamber music and traveling all around. The traveling is quite demanding with all these material problems. And one thing that Banff has shown me last year is like taking this time for how can I say, for yourself, and to this contact with, for me, this contact with nature last year was like something that I had never experienced before. So amidst all the craziness of the routine, what I try to take from here or from my experience and learning is that I try to make few spots just to breathe in, breathe out, to like stop thinking about music or instrument, and just, I don't know, read a book or try to, I don't know, to go somewhere else that has nothing to do with music and breathe.
So that's really interesting, that this idea of needing to take a breath in this creative environment. That's maybe not something that you have had a lot of time to do in your career, which has been just, you achieved a lot of success with your instrument very, very quickly, and you've been really just going and going ever since. How do you think your career would look different if there were more opportunities maybe to take that breath that you get here?
Well, I think this is something that you can decide for yourself.
Yeah.
So for now, what I try is to balance, balance is a difficult word, but yeah, I will say that. I try to balance the amount of work that I have and the amount of time that I have for me. Maybe for now it's like more this than that, but I feel that I'm in a point where I could decide, or I could balance that better if I just need it, So how it would look different, I don't know. Maybe you just enjoy more your free time. You would enjoy it more, or be able to enjoy it more. But I don't know. I don't think it would change so much.
No?
Just it's something about your mental and emotional setting, I think.
I mentioned that success for you in your career came quite quickly, and you've really been riding that wave ever since, and that has, as you say, it's happened to you. It's not something that you necessarily would have chosen. As you think about that career trajectory that you've had, and all of that travel that you have had to do, where has that other sorts of grounding come from for you, and how How much was that a part of your learning as an artist?
You know, at some point, when I wasn't able to balance so well, I had this this kind of burnout. Few years ago, that was maybe like 6-7 years ago.
Okay.
Where I my body was just done, and I had to stop, you know, and it was like for 3 or 4 months even.
Wow.
That I couldn't do anything because my body was just not working very well. So that is one very important moment of my career that made me learn, you know. And I think one of the another very important aspect is that you should be able to ask for help when you need it and not be embarrassed about that.
Yeah.
So I have always tried, when I have a problem, to try to speak with friends who have experienced something similar, or to professionals, or to family, you know.
Yeah.
Family is also an important point for me. I have been not having my family around for so many years, but still I find that they are like a ground point in my life. You know, we have a lot of contact, so that's. But everyone has to find for themselves what's important to where you can lean on. You know.
What have you noticed about your playing after having had this burnout that maybe is it different now compared to where it was before that moment?
It's gotten so much freer. So it's in a way, musicians are very perfectionist.
Yeah.
And this I am. I mean, I couldn't change that after the burnout.
Yeah.
I am what I am, and I'm still that. But the way I approach, the way I look into music, I look at music and I look at the profession is a bit different after that. My willing is more like to enjoy and make others enjoy rather than perfection, you know. Still, I have my standards, but I try to be kind to myself too. You know?
So you're working with a lot of the next generation of emerging classical music performers here at the Banff Centre who are maybe on that sort of same trajectory that you were. What has your message been to those performers as they deal with the pressures that come with pursuing classical music at the highest levels?
Well, I try to encourage them to think of music as it's just a beautiful art, you know. Of course, the market, and nowadays the world is like working so fast, and it's just crazy what's going on, and also social media, and you know. But I try to tell them that it's something that I think music. You can look inside you and see how you feel about it. You know, if it's something that you love, it should be not so stressful to do what you do. You know, it's difficult, of course, but to get to that setting, to that mind setting, even for me sometimes.
Yeah.
But yeah, just try to enjoy it, to enjoy the process. And if normally music is except if you're like playing solo pieces, it's something that you do with other people.
Yeah.
So I try to encourage them to enjoy the process with other people, to help each other. And this is something that Banff is very special about that. I feel that people have this emotional and mind setting to help each other and be there for each other, and this is something super beautiful about this place.
So we've talked about the way that you play music now is a bit different than it was before. You touched on something really interesting about how you're working with other musicians as well. I'm wondering, how has your collaborative nature maybe changed since that burnout? You mentioned the kindness that you show yourself. Is that then something that that translates when you're working in sort of smaller chamber settings like what we have up here at the Banff Center?
Yeah, I think that this exchange of energy with other people, I'm more open to that. You know, because this, if you close yourself, it's something that doesn't flow, you know. But music making with other people, it's about also exchanging ideas. Music is an art that doesn't need words, and that, well, when we play an instrument, you know. And I think this, what I have taken with me after this learning process, is that I'm more open about it. I'm also open to be vulnerable and to show that if it's necessary. And you see that it's something that people normally want to help with. You know, it's not the contrary, because normally you think that that it's gonna be something bad. But you learn that when people are kind, it's something that flows, and it's like you take energy and you give energy, and it's just a very, very nice process.
I'm going to rewind the clocks a little bit to when you were on the beginning of this incredible career, and you're performing in the way that you did sort of before this burnout point. And if somebody came to you and said, "Okay, we're going to have you go study at the Banff Center as an emerging classical music star," what do you think that would have meant to you in your career?
It would have meant the world. It would have. So I can understand anyone who gets this and like right away wants to come. Of course, it would have been very special.
Yeah, like what would that have been? What would that have meant to you to help to develop that grounding that you were talking about before, that balance that you were that you're finding still in this career?
Well, I guess if I would have come as a participant or student, and I would have found somebody to tell me that, you know, it would have helped. But at the same time, I think this is a process that each one has to go through in different paces for different rhythms. But of course, if you hear that from other people often enough, it should definitely help as much more as if you don't hear it for many years.
That's right.
You know,
everybody's on their own journey, and they need to find that in their own time. Yeah. This is so interesting to hear your perspective about this sort of balance of grounding and the highest level of performance, in addition to performing in a chamber setting here at Banff versus an orchestral setting back in Berlin. Regardless, we're always so excited to see what you are going to do next. Thank you so much for joining us, Cristina Gomez Godoy.
It's been a pleasure.